Hey Jazz,
Hi, Naeem.
how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Well, I like your hair.
Thank you.
Yes, I asked you to join me on this video conference, because I would like to do an appreciation exercise I learned with you. You open to doing it with me?
Yes.
Okay, so it's basically three questions. So I'll ask you the question, and then you answer it, and then you ask me the same question, and then we'll just go back and forth. So it's basically, what do I appreciate about myself? What do I appreciate about you? What do I appreciate about us, our relationship? So I'll start and ask you, Jazz, what is something you appreciate about yourself?
Something I appreciate about me is that I'm constantly curious. What is something you appreciate about yourself?
Oh, that reminded me of curiosity, and the cat, and the cat having nine lives and stuff. But yeah, I I appreciate that I have a good imagination, that I can entertain myself forever if I need to, which I found out a lot and during this kind of self-isolation kind of quarantine time. So
Let me
yes.
teach that.
Can I what? Entertaining yourself?
Imagination, yes.
There's so many ways to do it. There's all kind of games. Maybe we should make a class about that. Uh, it's needed these days. So the next question is, what is something you appreciate about me?
Something I appreciate about you is that you're always open. I don't feel like there will be judgment with anything I express, and I really appreciate
You're right about that. I am not a judge.
that. And what is something you appreciate about me?
I appreciate that you are a student. You're a very good student, and for everything, for life, and that you say you're curious. Well, curious is just another way of saying loving to learn. So whether you're curious about how something works or what's going on, it's learning new things, and you're like a sponge. So I appreciate that you like learning about things. You're a really great student. So something I appreciate about you. And the last question is, what is something you appreciate about us, aka our relationship?
Something I appreciate about our relationship is that it is easygoing, or it feels, I don't know, really the behind the inner works of it, but it feels easy. It comes naturally with in terms of our energy.
I like that.
What is something you appreciate about our relationship?
I appreciate that it's always evolving and growing, and it's not something that I think has our relationship is not like at a plateau where it's like, okay, we've got to this point in our learning, our growing, our exploration, our fun, our experiences. It's something that I look forward to experiencing more of. What else we'll create together, even if it's just a walk in the park. So I appreciate that about our relationship.
That's all three.
So what do you think about this exercise?
I think it's nice to do these things because it's hard to stop and think about not only what you appreciate about someone else, like sometimes we take things for granted, but it's also the first question being, what do you appreciate about yourself? Is
Yeah.
probably the hardest one because you have to stop and think about all the things. Wow, I take myself for granted. What do I like about myself?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's part of it, because if we're talking about love, it's not separate from self-love. And self-love is not isolating yourself from others. It's about recognizing the qualities in yourself that you appreciate. And there's plenty. And when we don't even think about, like you said, stop and think about it, then we're like kind of dehydrating ourselves of the love that we could be receiving on a daily basis. If we just asked, looked in the mirror and said, you know what, you're a great person. I appreciate that you have a great smile. Whatever it is, just, talk to yourself. If you want other people to talk to you lovingly, then, start with yourself. And that's why we're doing this exercise. So thank you for joining me with it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And let's do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
Boom shakalaka.